Hey everybody, it's Jeff again, and today we want to show you how to manage DNS records inside your Pagely account. Now, just in case you're watching this video and don't quite understand how DNS works, let's give you a quick little rundown. So let's say you're going to visit a friend at their new house. Now, if you were trying to find out where it was, you wouldn't necessarily ask them for GPS coordinates, right? That would be silly. You'd ask them for the address. DNS works largely the same way. It allows you to convert a name, like pagely.com, to an IP address. And that's what we're going to be setting up today. So now that you have a basic understanding of what DNS does, let's move on to the fun stuff. So as you can see here, we're currently inside the main Atomic dashboard page. And since we're going to be managing DNS, let's go ahead and click on that DNS menu item over on the left-hand side. Now we're inside our main DNS page. And what it does is it allows you to view any sort of DNS zones you have and then select that zone to modify the different records inside it. So if we want to add a new zone, all we do is click on this drop down here, select the domain that we've configured or created an app for, and then click on that new zone button. Once we click on that button, it's going to add a new DNS zone to the list over there. So, as you might have guessed, all we need to do is click on the name of that DNS zone to access it. So now we're inside that DNS zone, and as you can see, there is a listing of different DNS records that are available inside that zone, as well as the option to add a new record. So let's go ahead and add a new record. So for this example, let's assume that we want to point a subdomain to an IP address. To do that, first we want to set the record type, which is an A record. So we just click on this little drop down here and select A. And next we just want to enter in the subdomain that we want to point to that A record. So if we wanted to point example.pagely.com, then in this subdomain field we would just enter in example. The third field here is this little drop down that currently says default. What that is your TTL value, which stands for time to live. If you have a specific value that you need to set on your newly created DNS record, you can select it here, but for the purposes of this example, we're just going to leave it as default. Inside this last field, we just want to set our IP address that we need to point to that particular subdomain. So for this example, we're just going to enter in 127.0.0.1, which is your localhost address. Obviously, yours is going to be completely different. It just depends on where you're trying to point that subdomain to. Now that we've added our new record, we can just click on this new record button here, and it will add our new record to the list. Now that that record is on the list, what if we want to edit it? To edit the record, all we need to do is click on this little settings icon, and it will open up the fields to make them editable. From there, just make your changes and click on that save button. To delete a record, all we need to do is click on this little delete icon and then click it again just to confirm that we want to make that change. Lastly, I just want to show you this Google Apps shortcut button. If you're using Google Apps for things like email, then adding all of those individual records can be a total pain. All you need to do is click on this Google Apps shortcut button and it's going to add all those DNS records for you. It's way better than manually adding all those individually. I hope I was able to answer any of the questions that you might have had today. If you have any further questions, our support team's always here and they're always happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.